Hello, adventurers. Imagine you're diving into the big blue sea. The water is warm and crystal clear. Sunlight dances through the waves, lighting up the sandy ocean floor. Suddenly, a shadow glides past you. It doesn't swim like a normal fish. It soars like a bird, flapping its huge, flat wings. This is a stingray, one of the ocean's most graceful creatures. They look like living carpets flying through the water. They are absolutely brilliant. From tiny ones that could fit in your hand to giants bigger than a car, stingrays are a truly magnificent sight to behold. They are true masters of their underwater world. You might be surprised to learn that these flat flyers are actually a type of fish. But they're not just any fish, they are cousins with sharks. That's right, stingrays and sharks belong to the same family called elasmobranchs. This means their skeletons aren't made of hard bone like ours. Instead, they are made of a tough, flexible material called cartilage. You can feel cartilage in your own body if you wiggle the top of your ears or the tip of your nose. This bendy skeleton helps stingrays be incredibly agile, allowing them to twist and turn with amazing speed and grace as they explore their homes. There are so many different kinds of stingrays, and they come in all sorts of amazing shapes and colors. The southern stingray is a common sight in the Atlantic Ocean, looking like a gray or brown diamond gliding over the sand. Then you have the breathtaking blue-spotted stingray, which is a real showstopper. It's bright yellow or green with dazzling electric blue spots all over its back. It's like a disco party on fins. And we can't forget the gentle giant, the manta ray. These are the largest rays in the world, and they don't have a stinger at all. They are like giant, friendly gliders of the sea. And what about stingrays that don't even live in the ocean? Yes, they exist. Freshwater stingrays live in the mighty rivers of South America, like the Amazon. They have adapted to a completely different world, away from the salt and the coral reefs. These river rays are often covered in beautiful patterns of spots and swirls, making each one unique. From the vast salty seas to the winding murky rivers, these incredible flatfish have found a way to thrive just about anywhere there's water. It just goes to show how adaptable these animals truly are. So what does a stingray do all day? Well, a lot of their time is spent resting and hiding. When it's time for a nap, a stingray will settle down on the sandy ocean floor. It doesn't just lie there out in the open, it does something very clever. Using its powerful wings, it flaps and stirs up the sand all around it. The sand settles on top of its back, covering it completely. All you might see are its two eyes peeking out. The ultimate camouflage, almost invisible to predators and prey. That hiding trick also helps them hunt. Stingrays are bottom feeders. They find food on or under the seafloor. They love clams. They love shrimp. They love crabs. They love small fish. They can't see food buried in the sand with their eyes, because their eyes are on top and their mouth is on the bottom. Instead, they have a superpower. Special sensors on their noses, called ampullae of Lorenzini, detect tiny electrical fields from living creatures. It's like a built-in food detector. Once they find a tasty meal under the sand, they hover over the spot. Then they might blow a jet of water to uncover it. Or they might suck the creature right out like a vacuum. Their mouths have strong, flat teeth for crushing shells. After a meal, they go back to resting, or gliding gracefully along the currents, always on the lookout for the next bite. The life of a stingray is a cycle of hiding, hunting, and soaring through its underwater kingdom. Their flat bodies aren't just for hiding. They help survival. Pressing flat to the seabed makes it hard for bigger predators, like hammerhead sharks, to bite. If threatened, they have another trick on their tail. Most stingrays have a sharp, venomous barb on their tail. They don't use it to attack. It's for defense only. They use the stinger as a last resort if stepped on or trapped to escape. Stingrays are not new to our planet. In fact, they are ancient mariners. Scientists have found fossils that show stingrays were gliding through the oceans at the same time dinosaurs were stomping on the land. That means these incredible creatures have been around for about 150 million years. They have survived massive changes to our planet and have continued to thrive in the seas for an incredibly long time. This makes them true survivors, a living link to a prehistoric world. They have been perfecting their way of life for millions of years, which is why they are so good at what they do. These ancient fish also play a very important role in keeping the ocean healthy. They are like underwater gardeners or caretakers. By eating so many crabs, clams, shrimp, they help to keep the populations of these creatures in balance. If there were no stingrays, some of these smaller animals might multiply too quickly and eat all the food, which would upset the entire ecosystem. Stingrays also help stir up the seafloor when they hunt and bury themselves. This digging helps move nutrients around, which is important for the tiny organisms that live in the sand and form the base of the food chain. When it comes to making more stingrays, the process is quite simple. A male stingray and a female stingray will swim together, and after they mate, the female will carry the babies inside her body. She doesn't lay eggs like many other fish. Instead, she gives birth to live young, which are called pups. These pups are perfect miniature versions of their parents. They are born with the ability to swim, hunt, and hide all on their own. As soon as they are born, they flap their tiny wings and glide away to start their own lives, ready to face the challenges of the big ocean. Sadly, some types of stingrays are facing big trouble today. Certain species are endangered because of overfishing, loss of their habitats, like coral reefs and mangrove forests. When their homes are damaged, it becomes very difficult for them to find food and raise their pups. However, the good news is that many other stingray species, like the southern stingray, are still very common and doing well. People are working hard to protect the endangered ones by creating marine protected areas where they can live safely. It's important we look after our oceans for these amazing animals. Now, let's talk about that stinger. It's important to remember that stingrays are generally very peaceful and gentle creatures. They are not swimming around looking for people to sting. They would much rather swim away from you than confront you. A stingray will only use its tail barb for defense when it feels scared or threatened. This usually only happens by accident. For example, someone wading in shallow water doesn't see a stingray buried in the sand and accidentally steps on it. The stingray gets a fright and flicks its tail up to protect itself. To stay safe around stingrays, people who walk in shallow tropical waters are taught to do the stingray shuffle. That means you don't lift your feet up and down when you walk. Instead, you shuffle your feet along the sandy bottom. The shuffling sends out vibrations and gently nudges any stingray that might be resting nearby. That gives the ray plenty of warning. It will almost always swim away peacefully long before you get too close. So, where in the world can you find these amazing flat fish? Stingrays are sun lovers. They mostly live in warm waters, tropical waters, subtropical waters all around the globe. You can find them in shallow coastal areas, swimming gracefully over sandy flats, in colorful coral reefs, and in calm lagoons. They love the shallows because the water is warm, and there is plenty of food to be found buried in the sand, from the Caribbean Sea to the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. These incredible creatures are at home in the world's most beautiful underwater places. Stingrays are one of the most fascinating and unique animals in the sea. They are ancient survivors, graceful gliders, masters of camouflage, from their shark relatives to their superpower noses. There is so much to learn about them. They remind us how diverse and wonderful life in the ocean can be. By understanding and respecting them, we can make sure these flat, flying fish continue to soar through our oceans for millions of years to come. Make sure you subscribe to GeterdoneKidzTv so you can learn about more cool stuff.